Zimbabweans. I just want to give you an analogy here quickly, a scenario. What we used to do kwaMurewa when I was young, we would go on holiday mu orchard, unotora mango, kwainzi kupfimbika. Kupfimbika is just you keep it for future consumption. And mango yaya painenge wakunoti yaiva waipfimbika for so many days, a week or so, ukaivhura mango yaya uona ine makwenye mukati, and you can't eat it, you throw away, so you've wasted your 5 days. So the issue for me is to do with this mango strategy, the ambiguity of it, and what's coming out now, the ineptness of a party. I would want to echo everything that Salani has said on here. Everything, literally everything, word for word. Because without structures, we've been told there are structures. Triple C is our best hope to redeem the fortunes of Zimbabwe. But here they are. We've said these things on several spaces that I've hosted, Salani has hosted, and even the ZANU-PF has hosted. It has always been echoed, the same sentiments, and these are the people that are meant to deliver us to a new Zimbabwe. They need to do better. I hope their organizational structure changes as we go towards the elections. But for now, it's very demoralizing. It's very disappointing. They need to do better as a party. I continue to hear this thing. We are continuing to learn. We are a new baby. They're not a new baby. All the leadership, the interim leadership in Triple C have been in parliament or outside of parliament in governance for the past 23 years. So it's not an excuse. It's just laziness and ineptness. So I hope they improve, because they will not deliver Zimbabwe with such incompetency. Thanks a lot.
Well, thank you so much, Finals, for that contribution this morning. Yeah.
Remember, in 2018, Bulawayo South, there was 2 candidates from MTC Alliance, yes. Bulawayo South. Mm-hmm. So if I'm analyzing the numbers, these guys were close in terms of, if you add those total numbers, they're going to defeat ZANU-PF right mode, right? Mm-hmm. So the double candidates again. We go to Country Park, the issue of the councillor, the by-elections, they were double candidates again. Mm-hmm. That gave the city away to what? To ZANU-PF. Again, now we're seeing Triple C fielding. It's called a new movement. They're saying it's a new movement, but then are fielding double candidates again. What does it mean? What's happening there? Can parties solve the internal fights without going to the polls as double candidates? What's happening there within political parties? Ever they field the double candidates. Let's go to and see you just on the issue of double candidates. What's happening within political parties? Simba, are you there?
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I am intrigued at the blame that seems to be continuing as a theme against Nelson Chamisa's party. I'm not a supporter either, but I am intrigued how there seems to be this persistent and consistent attack, and it didn't start this election. It started even in 2018, and there's a grouping that was always pointing fingers at Nelson Chamisa. You lost the elections because of double candidates. But folks, let's just go into the practicals of what this is. A database is a very, very simple thing. I'm talking about the ZEC database, for instance, here, the entries as they go in. They are just like the same entries that we see at the bank. There's no way a bank is going to cash out a check from the same check number. It's impossible. What I mean by that is that there's no way there's going to be a double candidate on one same check number. It's impossible. There's what is called in a database a primary key. To those who have not done computer programming, Nelson Chamisa's party or ZANU-PF or whatever party that is there has got its own primary key as a political party at any polling station or at any ward, wherever. That primary key cannot produce double candidates, no matter what. It's impossible. And while you will always have double candidates, I mean, look, since 1980, there have always been double candidates all over. What I mean by that is there have always been people wanting to become double candidates. Anywhere in the world, there will always be squabbles in political parties, even in the UK, all over, where someone will come up and say, look, I am the legitimate leader or I am the legitimate contestant here. But what happens when they get to the nomination court? The nomination court's database will tell you No, there is only one entry that can be allowed at any given time. There is no way that entry can produce a double candidate for, like in this case, ZANU-PF having double candidates. It's impossible. I mean, I hope people understand here. What is called a primary key, if you Google that term, primary key is a unique identifier for any particular entry. It's like your check number, just so that I make it very simple. So there's no way you are going to go to CBZ Bank and you want to check, to cash out a check that OK Zimbabwe has issued for you. And then you get there and then you find that no, there's a double candidate. There's someone else who came in and they cashed that very same check. There's no way the bank is going to issue an amount. They're actually going to tell you, look, that amount has been, the money has been cashed already. So there will never be database double entries at any time. There will never be database, double candidates at any given time. And I think here, Zenzele side, what you need to do here is to bring people from ZEC. This they have to explain, because this is the very, very beginning of the frauds. This is where it begins. This is basic fraud. And as Ostalos explained today, I didn't understand everything that he was saying, but I definitely understood him when he called it a fraud, because there is no way that database. What was going to happen there was that Nelson Chamisa's party was going to have only one candidate, even if that candidate is wrong. Let's just that candidate is Joseph Chinotimba, who has suddenly registered as a CCC contestant for Buhera South. Okay, he would be the only person. He would be the only representative. So your only argument there, and what people should in this space and everywhere be attacking Nelson Chamisa for, is fielding people like Joseph Chinotimba, who maybe were never there or were not sent. But not that they're double candidates. It is foolish. Sorry for using that term. I know it's unparliamentary or unspacery, okay, to say so. But it does not make sense to blame Nelson Chamisa or his party or any party, even blame ZANU-PF for having a double candidates. Please Google for yourself, check for yourself. Let this argument rest from today. This argument about having double candidates, it's an impossibility. Total impossibility. Whoever has allowed that double candidate, what they have actually done is to create a formula that stretches the rule. This is an eternal database rule that cannot be twisted. And what they've done is they've ensured that that primary key becomes maybe a half primary key, so you can have another half. So I hope this explains something here.
Thank you so much for that contribution, sir. I have many speakers this morning that want to speak. I have many requests that want to speak this morning. Let me take other speakers.
I'm already done. I hope I've settled this here. Those people who are blaming Nelson Chamisa, please bring substance. Blaming CCC, hey, why are they always having double candidates? We are in a substance. It's fraud. It doesn't make sense. It's an impossibility. Zokerai kuzeki kokoko and tell them here, you folks, you are totally incompetent. That whole office must be shut, because there's no way they can be running an election if their database is going to be violating a basic mathematical rule.